And amidst the growing divide between the Defence and Finance Ministry on the issue of OROP, joining me now are two ex-service chiefs. I'm joined by former Chief of Army Staff, General Malik, as well as former Chief of Air Force, Air Chief Marshal S.P. Tyagi. Appreciate both of you joining us here on the news today. General Malik, it is believed that you were a mediator between the military veterans and the Narendra Modi government on the OROP issue, but you gave up within 48 hours. At least that's what news reports are suggesting. Is it because there is this big gap that we are now talking about, which is emerging between what the Defence Ministry wants and what the Finance Ministry is willing to give, that the government is not united on the issue of OROP?
Rajdeep, firstly I must clarify that I was rung up by the PMO, and Principal Secretary spoke to me and he said that the Prime Minister wanted me to come to Delhi and try and resolve this matter. And after that, before going to Delhi, I spoke to General Satbir Singh and some others, and they also said, yes, you should come. So I went a little reluctantly, but after I had got approval from both sides. Right. Yes, you are absolutely right that the figures which have been given by the Defence Ministry and which has also been with the ex-servicemen organizations now, those have not been agreed to in the Ministry of Defence, in the Ministry of Finance, and that is where the difference is. And there is a gap which, if you try and go the other side, when it goes, the finance side, when they go into those issues, then you do not follow the definition of the OROP as has been accepted already.
Right.
So that creates a big gap, and when I found that the gap could not be bridged because the government position said that this is our final position, then I conveyed that to the ex-servicemen and I gave up the effort.
Okay, so you are going on record to say, yes, this big gap does exist. Air Chief Marshal, given that gap that exists, do you believe that it is wise on the part of former Army, Air Force, Navy chiefs to intervene? You've signed on this letter protesting against the way demonstrators were allegedly manhandled by the police on the 15th of August. On the 14th of August, do you believe that it is wise to intervene in what is now becoming an increasingly politicized issue? You've got a Rahul Gandhi going there, you've got Aam Aadmi Party leaders also joining in with the protesters. Do you believe that the chiefs should stay away?
Firstly, Rajdeep, I don't think this issue should be politicized at all. I'm actually uncomfortable with politicization of any issues dealing with the armed forces. So I need to go on record and say, politics, please stay out of this. This is not a political issue, and it's best left out of the domain of politics. There is a government of the day. The government said they believe in the OROP. The government said we have made some calculations. Based on those calculations, there were some expectations. If we have gone, firstly, we are not intervening. We are nobody to intervene. We are not part of the government. We are saying that there is a situation which is making us uncomfortable. After all, it is not a happy situation. And you know, these things sometimes tend to go out of hand, and we should just resolve it as we understand. And I don't know, now General Malik says there are some differences, perhaps there are. We have been told there are some technical difficulties. We don't know what those technical difficulties are. Our understanding is very clear, Rajdeep. Our understanding is there is one definition of the OROP which everybody has accepted. Our understanding is that the Parliament has actually accepted this. Our understanding is that all political parties are on board as far as this issue is concerned. Our understanding is that the number crunching has been done by experts and they have arrived at some figure, 8,000 some crores. I understand if all this is true, then yes, there must be some difficulty, because why else hasn't these been implemented?
No, the point I'm making that it's reaching the stage now, General Malik, where there is anger. There seems to be this growing divide between the ex-servicemen certainly and the government, and it perhaps could infect even those who are serving today. Doesn't that worry you? That what is seen as anger stemming out of neglect could now be seen as anger stemming out of some kind of contempt for army officers. How are we, are you worried as an ex-serviceman that this agitation is reaching the stage where lines are getting increasingly polarized?
Yeah, it is worrying everybody. It's worrying everyone, all the chiefs, wherever they are, Army, Navy, Air Force. But the point is, I think, Rajdeep, we also have to understand that this demand for the ORP has been going on for so many years. The demand has been accepted, the definition has been accepted in the Parliament and by the government itself. Some of the letters that have been written in the Ministry of Defence, they have also accepted. What has come as a surprise to me and everybody else is that the figures which have been prepared by the Ministry of Defence after consulting their own experts, those are not being accepted. Now,
because there are genuine, the finance ministry says there are genuine difficulties. The finance ministry says you could be setting a very dangerous precedent. If it is inflation indexed, the amounts could snowball out of control. The Prime Minister's office seems to be suggesting we don't want to take any step in a hurry, which is seen as populist and under pressure.
My suggestion is, firstly, people are not convinced on the ground. And the second part is that if you have these kind of difficulties, please call those people in the office and explain to them. Whatever they have been told till now in the Ministry of Defence and even by the Finance Minister here, now they think that these are very minor problems which can be sorted out. For example, the ex-serviceman told me, sir, if there is a problem of finance, we are prepared to accept the bonds as far as the officers are and the JCUs are concerned. The widow, the Veer Naris and the Jawans, the retired Jawans, they may be given in cash, but the others we will accept it. So, the point is that this is what I was trying to bridge the gap, but when I found that they were stuck on a situation which was not reachable, which I felt that the ex-servicemen are not going to agree, which is what they did. So there was no alternative for me to except to step out. But let me, as far as the, just one second.
Yes.
As far as the seriousness of the situation is concerned, I feel that the government has taken far too long to resolve this matter. The files have been floating around in the secretariats, both on the North Block as well as in the South Block, and now in the PMO. Look, we have to understand the prioritization of our problems. And if you don't appreciate that prioritization, then you will land up in trouble like we have done now.
I take that point, and the worry that many observers now have, Air Chief Marshal Tyagi, is that on the one hand you've got two of the demonstrators, protesters who are saying we are going on a fast unto death. On the other hand, you've got the government which is seen not to be reaching out to you, no dialogue. What is the solution? Is the solution, as General Malik says, have a dialogue, let the two sides at least come to some kind of basic agreement, some element of give and take? Do you believe that both sides now need, the time has come for give and take without these letters being written by former service chiefs or fast unto death, which will be seen as a way of almost pressurizing the government? Has the time come to sit across the table and just settle this through give and take?
May I say that I am very uncomfortable with this hunger strike. I have to tell you that I am very uncomfortable. This is exactly why we are concerned. We have to think that, look, this is not a happy situation for anybody. So yes, you are telling me now the finance ministry has got some, some reservations. All we have been told so far is that there are some technical difficulties. So actually, if there are difficulties, I don't know. I don't know about them. And
there are difficulties whether the pension should be indexed. The difficulties are whether the pension should be indexed to 2014 or 2011, whether it should include all officers or whether it should include only officers of a certain rank. I mean, there are various issues which are being raised from time to time. Okay. My point is, can any of this be settled across the table, you believe, or is there a complete breakdown of trust and communication?
No. There will never be a complete breakdown. I think General Malik has just told us, since he has had a dialogue both with members of the government and the so-called agitators, may I submit that yes, of course, they are willing to have a dialogue. So I just don't see. What I am really bewildered is what seems to be the problem. Okay, there is a problem in the government, then I am sure it can be resolved. We can say, hey, this is our understanding. Can we come to some conclusion? I cannot believe we cannot resolve it. I do believe that this must be done in fact.
Okay, so both of you are effectively, really, virtually calling on the government. Yes, yes, one final word. Yes, General Malik.
May I come in?
Yes.
You see, I think the stage has reached now when it is not the bureaucracy which should be talking to these people, but the political leadership directly should be talking to each other. To the,
so are you saying that Mr. Parrikar and Mr. Modi and Mr. Jaitley, are you saying Mr. Parrikar, Mr. Modi and Mr. Jaitley should directly talk to the agitators or possibly to the former service chiefs?
I think so, yes, that's right.
Okay. Well, you've set the stage in a sense. At least you're offering a concrete solution. Let's have an across-the-table meeting between the Prime Minister, the Defence Minister, and the Finance Minister, and possibly ex-service chiefs and representatives of the ex-service organisation. General Malik, Air Chief Marshal Tyagi, appreciate your joining us. Thank you very much.